Distinguished speaker, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to speak in this very important forum of the second ASEAN Plus 3 Economic Cooperation and Financial Stability Forum. And today's forum is very timely when all of us individually and the region facing the dynamic global economy challenges. The question is how we have to strengthen our the policy mix within the country, whether within the central bank or between the central bank and the government, and what kind of cooperation in the region that we need to strengthen going forward. Let me begin with some thoughts on the global economic dynamics. We know that geopolitics has been uncharted, making the fragmentation not only geopolitics but also in fragmented geoeconomic. Let me just cite the following five key important that we have to watch and to anticipate better and looking the global economic dynamic. One, slower and divergent growth. We are seeing growth, global growth will is to somewhere about 2.8% in 2024 before accelerating to 3% in 2025. US is still okay, but China is slowing and ASEAN in particular, Indonesia, also India, still quite okay. But going forward, we have to anticipate the trade channel impact of slower global economy. Number two is gradual disinflation. Yes, we are seeing the inflation globally decelerating, but in most country, in the advanced country in 2025, is still higher to their target because of global energy prices, food prices, and including also some labor tightness in the advanced country. Number three, higher for longer. We do believe Fed fund rate will be higher for some time. Maybe will be just start slowing in the second part of next year. But more importantly, US Treasury continue rising because of high debt of public debt in the US. This is what not challenge number three. This is also making challenge number four, which is capital outflows from our region, from emerging market because of high interest rate in the US and making the challenge number five, strong dollar, which is continuing also making pressure exchange rate around the world, including also emerging market, slower and divergent growth, gradual disinflation, higher for longer, capital reversal, or cash is the king, and stronger. This is what we need to anticipate to formulate and implement in our respective country and also cooperation in the region. Then second part of my talk, what kind of the policy that we need to anticipate and to formulate within the country. I need to talk about the need of central bank policy mix between monetary and macro prudential, but also between central bank and the government and financial system stability. This is where the policy make will depend on the situation in each country, especially where the country in the cycle of the economic cycle and financial cycle. This is important how to provide the optimal policy mix of monetary, macro-prudential, as well as also fiscal and financial system stability. For example, for country, including also Indonesia, that we are still experiencing upper trend of our both economic cycle and financial cycle. Naturally, both monetary and macro prudential need to be accommodative. But for Indonesia, for example, because of global turbulences, we need to formulate our monetary policy for stability, while macro-prudential still continue for pro-growth. But even when we design monetary policy for anchoring our domestic inflation, we cannot only rely on interest rate response. Otherwise, we need to higher interest rate, which is choking the domestic economy. In our experience of Indonesia, we complement interest rate response for achieving our target by stabilizing our exchange rate for mitigating the imported inflation. For Indonesia, for example, we raised our policy rate to 6% and also stabilizing exchange rate for imported inflation. And this is giving a good result that our inflation now very low, even lower than our mid target of 3% plus minus one. This is the story of the policy mix within monetary policy, complementing interest rate with exchange rate stability. But at the same time, we continue to adopt accommodative macro-prudential policy to stimulate domestic economic growth through accommodative macro-prudential, including loan-to-value ratio 100%, giving incentive, liquidity incentive for bank that extending loan to priority sector, including also in the SME development. This is our mix of macro prudential whereby our lending growth continue supporting economic growth with now growing by 9%. We expect to 8 to 10% and next year will be also increasing to 11 to 13%. While monetary policy for mitigating global spillover, macro prudential continue accommodative for supporting economic growth. We also coordinate with the government of central bank policy mix and fiscal policy. In Indonesia, we both aiming prudent monetary and fiscal policy, but also from fiscal policy, also giving subsidy for low income country of fuel and food prices, whereby also aiming at lower food prices, including also national movement for addressing food prices. This is also supporting the stability of price stability, including also supporting the economic growth through stimulus of the fiscal coordinating through priority sector with our accommodative macro prudential. We also coordinate with financial system stability, not only monetary fiscal, but also macro prudential policy with micro prudential of supervision, including also resolution scheme, which is we implement together between Minister of Finance, Bank Indonesia, Financial Service Authority, as well as Indonesian Deposit Insurance Scheme, where we strengthen our financial stability as joint cooperation, joint responsibility for financial system stability. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this very untethered global dynamic, we cannot rely only one policy. We have to have central bank, monetary, and macro prudential policy, but overall macro prudential policy mix with the government as well as financial system stability cooperation. Let me just, before closing, how in the region we need to strengthen our cooperation. Of course, AMRO, one of the institutions that need to accelerate on the surveillance from the global spillover and giving advice on policy make suited for the country, but also enhancing our Chiang Mai initiative as self-help regional financial cooperation. And I appreciate very much the progress, the advancement of the AMRO, including also under ASEAN Plus 3 Chiang Mai initiative for strengthening regional financial cooperation. But beyond that, regional financial cooperation, including also regional payment connectivity, ASEAN payment connectivity, and within Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, the ASEAN four already connecting and using cross-border payment and QR fast payment, then by facilitating regional financial cooperation as well as financial inclusion. We are looking forward for cooperation in this regional payment connectivity with other countries of the ASEAN as well as ASEAN plus 3. So this is the challenge that we have going forward globally, still unfriendly, but we have sharing experience, the need of central bank policy mix, monetary macro prudential policy mix of macroeconomic policy, my policy, financial stability. But beyond that, we have to strengthen our ASEAN cooperation. Hopefully, this conference, this forum, give suitable assessment as well as recommendation on the ASEAN matters. ASEAN as epicenter of growth, including also cooperation ASEAN plus 3 to be the center of the growth in the global economy. Thank you.